This is Washington, D.C., where all the laws that guide our country are written and negotiated. This is an average American citizen, hardworking, pays taxes, and votes. Our average citizen wants a government that represents the wishes of the people, so he votes for the candidate who works on his behalf. The candidate, now a legislator, vows to represent the best interest of the people. Unfortunately, when the legislator gets to Washington, he's met by the lobbyist who is paid to represent the corporate interest. You see, corporations have lobbyists who donate money to legislators so that the legislator will vote for the interests of the corporations rather than the interests of the American citizens. As a result, the legislator is no longer interested in voting for bills that help the people. Instead, he votes for laws that help the corporations. The legislator, who has to mount a re-election campaign every 2 to 6 years, depending on their seat, is happy to take the money to save him time spent on fundraising. The legislator is now beholden to the corporate donors and spends his time fighting for the rights and privileges of the corporations. Regardless of political party, legislators are purchased away from the taxpayers that put them in office by corporations that will use them to take away the rights, liberties, and general welfare of the citizens. So, the average American ends up feeling like there is nothing that they can do to improve America when the game is rigged in favor of corporations and wealthy special interests who buy off representatives. If only the American people had lobbyists to give money to the legislators in their interest. Well, now they do. The American People's Lobby has been formed to do just that. We are working people who have had enough. We are frustrated as we watch our representatives shortchange the American people by giving all the benefits of this great land to the rich corporations. By forming this lobby on behalf of the citizenry of the United States, we intend to lobby to represent the American people, fight against corporate control of legislators, influence legislators for the good of the people, to ensure that the voting public is fully represented by the officials they have elected, to diminish the influence of corporate and special interest organizations from taking precedence over the greater good, to poll every member of the American People's Lobby to determine what the average person thinks is the right course for our country. And most importantly, we are nonpartisan. We are just plain American. In our eyes, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. If it's bad for the American people, it is un-American. So, what can our average citizen do? First thing, donate $10 to the American People's Lobby. And then, the citizens from across the country who feel just like you do will donate $10 to the American People's Lobby. And we will take those $10 donations and put them into one big pile. Because if you donate $10 to your legislator, he knows he has a long way to raise more. But when 1 million Americans give to the American People's Lobby, your legislator sees a powerful grassroots group with $10 million to spend. That much money makes for a very compelling case for the legislator to come back and work with us. And with that kind of power, there will be a new sheriff in town. And that sheriff will be you and me and the American people. The average American who is sick and tired of electing politicians who end up representing the corporations who are tearing our country apart. The power of the people. We, the people of the United States of America, we have let this go on for far too long. And now with the strength in numbers, we can buy back our representatives and set this country back on track. That's a promise even Washington will have to keep. The American People's Lobby. Donate $10 and help us buy back our government. If you can't beat them, buy them. theamericanpeopleslobby.org.